And just like that, we have returned the second match here in Group B. Without further ado, let's just introduce our players here in the bottom, or in the top right-hand corner. It's the yellow Terran player representing Risen Competitive. It is EterNal.
And in the bottom left-hand corner, as the purple Terran from Team Gosu build, it's EliteSlayer.
And, I mean, TVT, definitely one of the tougher matchups for me to cast, and from a lot of the Terrans I've talked to, it's also one of the tougher matchups to play. I know that the early game can be a little bit volatile, and that volatility, especially with the way that tanks interact with everything on the ground, it never really goes away. Um, so I don't know. While there is, a little bit of an MMR gap here, TVT is one of those matchups where I think if you make really solid and decisive plays, you can take somebody out. What do you think, Renegade?
Um, yeah, I think that's a correct assessment. Um, I call TVT the chess match of StarCraft II. It's all about, small advantages of unit, and then large decisions about whether to poke into take lines or whatnot, and lots of things blowing up.
And
Lots of things blowing up. You make it basically you make a move and it either works or it doesn't, and then you have to continue playing the game out from there until you get checkmate on your opponent's production, right?
yeah. Um, but I mean, at the
But
same time, like you said, lots. Ooh, Proxy Factory here by EliteSlayer. That is a big deal. But again, this barracks, as soon as he built it, he rallied it around to look for things. Now the current rally doesn't not look like he will quite see this proxy. I'm not sure. But again, I mean, with the way that tanks can interact with things, even if you have that marine advantage, boom, boom, there goes that marine advantage.
yeah, this matchup is very uncertain. But one thing we can be certain of is there will be two Ravens.
There
There's
will be
never
two
more,
ravens.
nevertheless.
There's always two. EterNal, kind of poking around. You don't really want to get aggressive with that first Reaper in TVT like you do in TVZ because your opponent's going to have a Reaper as well, and that can end poorly for you sometimes. Tech Lab being built on that proxy factory along with the Starport being proxied as well, and it looks like we're going to have two Reapers and followed up by a third and then a Hellion, which is a pretty standard little poke comp I feel like we see in TVT a lot.
Sure, and often you see the opposing Terran push or defending with like two Hellions and a Reaper, or some mix of that combination, and it's really about the Hellion shots and the angles they get. It's really like a fine micro engagement.
Yeah, but I mean, keep in mind this first tank is on the way here for Elite. A Liberator is started as well, and right now the anti-air capabilities of EterNal are next to none. So while he might be able to get across and deal with the ground forces here across the map, he needs to identify that something weird like this is coming, and he needs to identify it soon so he can get up some defenses because his current army cannot deal with this.
Oh no, Elite Slayer is moving his Reapers and Marines out on the map. If he had held the wall, he would have been fine. One Reaper going down immediately, and that's huge in Terran versus Terran.
Yeah, no, everything is going to go down here. And now it looks like EterNal can bust the ramp, but keep in mind there's going to be an army that is coming from this proxy that's going to attack. So I think we might get into some kind of weird base trait scenario. Um, EterNal looks like is stopping to kill these depots, which I'm not sure is the moves here, as here comes this army. There's a tank,
Well,
a Cyclone, and a Liberator. Oh no, this Liberator might get taken out right away. That could be disastrous. And it will go down. But keep in mind, oh, will that Cyclone go down? It looks like it will, and now he's going to get close range. This tank goes down, and GG is called. A little bit
is it
dicey.
though? Is it?
A little bit dicey for a second there, but EterNal manages to get across the map, deal his damage, and take game number